Did we see the engineer Homeworld in Alien Covenant? Damon Lindelof may have just revealed the endgame for Ridley Scott's Alien prequels. With the future of the Alien franchise currently in limbo and nothing greenlit as yet, one of the contributing factors to this is Alien Covenant not delivering on what Prometheus set up. In Prometheus, we were introduced to an entirely new alien universe, full of wonder and light, searching for our creators and the answers to man's ultimate questions. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Ultimately, this light would turn dark and bleak when we met our makers, the engineers, and learned they had in fact planned to simply kill us off. Prometheus set up deep and grandiose questions on our search for answers, to which we were promised by Ridley himself Alien Covenant would answer. The end of Prometheus lent itself perfectly to a sequel where we would visit the engineer Homeworld, with the end lines quite literally stating that they were navigating to where the engineers came from. Unfortunately, Alien Covenant did not deliver on these answers. Almost everything from Prometheus that was set up was not paid off. Understandably, the result was some very unhappy fans. One major lesson to be learnt here is don't set things up you have no intention of paying off. In Alien Covenant, we did visit a planet, an apparent paradise. Though in all marketing material we were introduced to a slogan, "The road to paradise begins in hell." And perhaps we're now learning that there was more to this quote than we previously thought. The planet they displayed in Covenant had elements of the engineers. The humanoids there resembled engineers in some way, the language was seemingly the same, and the scripture carved into the stones was reminiscent of what we had seen in Prometheus. Many people thought, logically and understandably, this must be the engineer Homeworld that they set up in Prometheus. Until we see David killing the entire planet's inhabitants in one fell swoop, leading everyone to then question, what? Why? How is this incredibly advanced spacefaring race so easily destroyed? And why did they even bother with Prometheus in the first place? With no confirmation of who these people were or what planet the Covenant crew had actually visited, most people washed their hands with the franchise at that point, vowing not to return until Ridley stepped down or was fired by Fox. We may have finally been given the answers, however, some reassurance, and hopefully an idea of where the next film is heading. In a recent interview with Collider, Damon Lindelof was asked about Alien Covenant, and he spoke a little about his discussions with Ridley Scott on the direction the Alien films were heading. And I quote, "I think that one of the conversations that we had at the end of Prometheus is, Shaw and David have basically locked in on the coordinates of the planet where the engineers came from. What does that place look like? Ridley called it paradise. What happens when they land on that planet? It doesn't feel like they've gotten there yet in Covenant. Covenant felt like it maybe was a detour prior to them arriving at the place of origin. So I don't want to spoil any place that he might still be wanting to go. But the conversations that he and I had about where the story goes next were largely about the place where the engineers came from and less the events of Covenant." Although Lindelof had no direct involvement in Alien Covenant, and it is something that needs to be remembered here, what he is saying does actually make sense, especially when pairing that with a marketing quote. Since seeing Covenant, many people have speculated that the planet we see is in fact a remote outpost, potentially a place of religious significance to the engineers, void of most technology and a simplistic existence. Another popular theory is that this was simply another of the engineers' creations. Both ideas make sense when considering there seems to be only one city on this entire planet, a city surrounding a docking station for the engineers' juggernauts, and when these beings saw the juggernaut approach and begin to dock, they flocked around it, cheering and staring up in awe and amazement. If this is the case, and David did not in fact instigate the genocide of the entire engineers' race, it would seem that David, the colonists, and the Covenant crew are now making their way to the engineer Homeworld. In honesty, this all makes a lot of sense. David, hell-bent on the destruction of the engineer race and the humans alike, wouldn't head straight there. Knowing of the pathogen's weaponized potential, he set his sights on creating a threat equal to the powerful engineers, a means to bring around their total annihilation, the xenomorph. This, paired with the quote, "The road to paradise begins in hell," and linking that with the mural we received in marketing material, could Ridley have been saying this all along? In Alien Awakening, the title of Covenant's sequel that is unofficially confirmed at present, could we see David head to the homeworld of the engineers and instigate what we see in the mural? The engineers battling with the xenomorphs and being overrun, leading to their ultimate end. Although I really am holding out hopes that this is the case, and it does make sense, it's information like this that is worth integrating into the story so as not to alienate your audience. The guessing game on what is what, where is this, where are we going, and the long-term plan being shrouded in secrecy has already proved itself to not be beneficial to the franchise moving forwards. When Prometheus set up so much leading to apparently no payoff in Covenant, the audience would understandably be reluctant to return for another installment. But here's hoping Damon has revealed the plans Ridley has and what is going to happen if we get another movie greenlit by Fox. However, I'd be keen to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Do you think our payoff will be in Awakening? Let me know what you think down below in the comments section, and if you did enjoy this video then please consider leaving it a like and subscribing to the channel for more in the future. If you think this video is worth it and you want to support the channel then please head on over to my Patreon page, the link is in the description box. I've been Mr. H, and until next time, I'll catch you in the comments section.